Welcome to another edition of Hunk of Junk Car Mods Garage. Today we're going to be putting our valves in. We're going to lap them. We're going to put the valve springs on. Right now, before we get to that, we are going to show you a trick to help your factory heads breathe a little better on a Ford 302, as well as a 351 and 289. What you're going to need a die grinder. You're going to need a carbide tip. Ford restricts their heads through their exhaust. They also restrict them a little bit through their intake part of their heads. But what we're going to do is we're going to take and make our holes for our exhaust the same size as what our gaskets are. This will help your heads breathe a little better. Down inside here there's a little dip. We're going to straighten that out a little bit, and that will help this head breathe a little better, which gives you a little bit more horsepower out of the E7s. I know an E7 head is not that great, but this is what we got to work with. This is a trick that I've learned years ago, and so we're going to take and do that to these heads. Alright, we're going to take the die grinder and we're going to go in here and we're going to just clean this out a little bit, the size of the gasket. Let's get a little bit smaller one here. It'll help a little bit better with the jumping around. As you can see here, I'm going to bring you a little closer here. Take you off the stand. And you're right in there. Clean that. You got that spot right up here. You can't get that. But you get this here. And you take that to where it's a straight shot down. It doesn't have a hump in it like this over here. This one over here, you can see it tips down in. This one here tips down in. This one here goes straight back, which will help that flow go a little bit better. And we'll bring you back here. Put you back on the stand. And we'll continue what we were doing. When you're doing this, try to keep your level. Don't try to just do the outside. Do the inside as well. Try to keep it level. Make sure you get all the shavings out of there. We've got a carburetor cleaner. Clean that all up. Back to our air gun. Alright, now the air compressor's running. I hope you can hear me. See if we can focus this in a little bit so you can see in there. More of a straight shot than a hump. Alright, we'll clean this up a little bit and we'll get to our valves. Alright, now we're going to be doing our valves. What you'll need is you'll need some valve grinding compound and a lapping tool, a valve lapping tool. Has two plungers on it, one for your bigger valves, one for your smaller valves, exhaust and intake, or vice versa on that. Anyhow, they're inexpensive. You can buy this online for a little of nothing. You can get this at your local AutoZone, O'Reilly's, wherever you shop for your auto part. And this is, I want to say, it's under 10 bucks, and the tube will last you forever. So let's get started on lapping our valves. Alright, we have our valves here that we've already cleaned up. We took 80 grit sandpaper, a razor blade, a piece of Scotch-Brite, and polished them up, made them look like brand new again. What you're going to do, you take your tool. Well, that one's too big, so we're going to go to the small one. Make it a little sticky there. Stick your valve on that, just like that. You're going to want to make sure you keep that straight as possible in there. You're going to take a little bit of your lapping compound, your valve grinding compound, whatever you want to call it. You're going to put it around there, like so, all the way around. So that it looks like that. You're going to insert that into the hole that the number is that you have, where it should be. Slide it down in there nice and easy. Let that sit right there. Alright, this is how we're going to do it. You go back and forth, like this, keeping it straight as possible. Lift it up, let the compound get back down in there. Lift it up again. Pick it up. When you hear it quiet down is when you pick it up. Almost like starting a fire with sticks if you ever been in Boy Scouts. She quiets down, you pick her back up. Pick it back up, look at it, looking good. Comes off, okay. And stick her back on there again. I use a little bit of spit because it helps it seal. There's no number rotations, anything like that. It's just until you get it smooth. Okay, we pull the valve out. Take us a rag. We wipe off the compound. Look at our valve. wipe off the area here where it's on the head. Okay, looking really good. As you can see here, we'll tip you right down in there. You can tell the difference between this valve here and this one here, where it's cleaned it up real nice. The valve, let me get it to where it focuses in. The valve, you can see all the way around it. It's still got little bitty pits in it, so we got to take and do it some more. Again, a little bit of grinding compound along the edge. Put it back in, nice and easy. You want to let the compound do the work, because you start pushing hard down on it and it's just going to push the compound right out of there. We got quiet on us. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, we've got rid of all the pits there on the valve. Wipe that all out of there. Just to make sure, I like to do it dry, turn it. Seems to be seating good because the valve doesn't want to turn. So, we got that all done. Put that valve, put it in there. Alright, now we're going to go to the rest of our valves. They're all basically done the same, and I'm sure you get the idea of what we're doing here. So what we'll do is we'll finish up lapping the valves and then take and put the springs on. Alright, now we're going to put our valve springs in. We have our comp cam springs here. There's 3 coils. You got 3 of them in there. I'm going to put them on. We have our spring keepers and our locks here that lock them in. Valve locks. And then we need our valve guide seals and the rubber that goes over them to keep the valve guides on. So we're going to get started on that. Valve guide seals. Seals. intake exhaust. Okay, so the first one we're going to be putting in is our exhaust. Alright, we're going to tip our head up like this. Now the tool that you are going to need is a spring compressor. We're going to get our valve. We're going to take and insert our valve into our port. And have that there. Flip this over. I put them on a 2x4, 4x4, something like that, so that I can keep them up there. As you can see, they want to fall. Set that down. So now it says here, these are your intake and these are your exhaust. So the taller ones are your intake and the smaller ones are your exhaust. So we need the smaller valve guide seal here. Push your valve back up in. The valve guide seal on there. Shove that all the way down as far as we can. It'll help hold your valve up there. Take our spring. Valve keeper. Put that on like that. Take our spring compressor. Put our spring in there. Get it to where it touches both sides. Come on. And it stays flat. Make sure them are down in there on a keeper. Hold them together. Squish the spring down. The spring squished down. Now you can that valve wants to go down, and you can push that spring down in there. We need our locks. I like to poke a hole in these so that I don't lose them. The plastic wants to stretch to unbelievable. Don't like pouring them out into a container or anything like everybody else does, because if you do that, you're just asking for trouble to lose one. Two of them out here. Okay, push that spring down. Put that one in there. Come over here. Put this one in there. And with the other one. That doing that. You gotta hold that, because if that thing breaks loose on you, it's gonna fucking pop in your face. So excuse my language. It's gonna pop in your face. There we go. All right. All right. Now we're on our intake. Put our intake valve in. Put that up there. Let it slide down, holding our hand on it. And put our next cap on. The intake cap. By the intake cap, shove our valve up in, put our cap on. Alright, we'll do this one and then we won't waste your time. We'll take and go ahead and do it and then come back to you. Alright, we had found a little bit easier way here. Take and put the spring in there. Find a spot where we can squish it down a little bit. Put it in there. Put it up there. And that. Okay. Well, now you're going to call me a liar. There. That in there. Oh, so, put that down on there, then tighten it up. This is for the triple springs. You ain't got to do this with regular factory springs. These triple springs are tight because we got a big cam. So these are the springs that come with the cam, but you've got to change the springs. That's it. Yep, that's it. Okay. Get our keepers. Pull two of them out, set one there. This one here. Put this one on the back side, facing away from us. Down, let it go in there. Pull that one, grab the other one. Keep it there. I got it right. There we go. Thought I was going to show you in either way. They've been popping in pretty easy this way. And now, being a pain in my butt again. Okay. Now, come on. Guesswork. Let it go. Yes. There. Pop her in. There it is, in. Well, that's all the time we have for this segment of Hunker Junk Car Mods Garage. We managed to get the one head done. We're going to be doing the other one. We're not going to show you that because we don't want to waste your time on it. We showed you how our little trick we do to get more flow through your head. Put the valve in and the valve springs on. And join us next time where we're going to be putting the ARP studs in for the heads and putting the heads on, torquing them down, putting the timing gear in. We'll see what else we can fit into that time segment. We might do a little more. We got all kinds of parts in. We just got our new AOD transmission here behind me in the tarp. We're going to be rebuilding that, showing you how to do that. We got all kinds of good stuff coming up. So remember, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.